If you've been following the Rifqa Bary case, you've probably noticed that both the media and Muslim spokespersons have been denying the fact that, according to Muhammad, the penalty for leaving Islam is death. Now, anyone who's studied the Muslim sources knows that Muhammad commanded his followers to kill apostates. But don't take my word for this. Let me give you a quotation from one of Islam's most prominent 20th century scholars. Abul al-Maududi said this: "To everyone acquainted with Islamic law, it is no secret that according to Islam, the punishment for a Muslim who turns to kufr, or unbelief, is execution. Doubt about this matter first arose among Muslims during the final portion of the 19th century as a result of speculation. Otherwise, for the full 12 centuries prior to that time, the total Muslim community remained unanimous about it." So Maududi holds that Muslims only began questioning the penalty for apostasy at the end of the 19th century. Now, why was there such an overwhelming consensus among Muslims prior to that time? Well, I hope to answer that question in 3 short videos. In this first video, I'm going to take you through the Qur'an and the Hadith, and we'll see why there was no doubt about the penalty for apostasy for the first 12 centuries of Islam. The 2 primary sources of Islamic law, of course, are the Qur'an and the Sunnah of Muhammad, Muhammad's words and deeds, which are recorded in the Hadith. The Qur'an, unfortunately, is usually much less clear than the Hadith, and when it comes to the issue of apostasy, it's in the Hadith that we find clear, definite, unambiguous statements from Muhammad. There are, however, some Quranic passages to consider. Let's look at 3. Commentators such as Maududi argue that there's a command to kill apostates in Surah 9, 11 through 12. The passage reads, "But if they repent and keep up prayer and pay the poor rate, they are your brethren in faith, and we make the communications clear for a people who know. And if they break their oaths after their agreement and openly revile your religion, then fight the leaders of unbelief." According to Maududi, when the passage refers to those who break their oaths, it isn't referring to people who break political treaties, but to those who become Muslims, then apostatize. And verse 12 tells Muslims to fight such people. I think that the Quran is ambiguous here, however. I think a person could reasonably interpret the passage as referring to political treaties. So there's nothing definite here concerning apostasy. Surah 16:106 is another interesting passage. It says, "He who disbelieves in Allah after his having believed, not he who is compelled while his heart is at rest on account of faith, but he who opens his breast to disbelief, on these is the wrath of Allah, and they shall have a grievous chastisement." Without some background in Islamic thought, it may sound as if this is referring only to a future judgment when it says that the wrath of Allah is on the apostates. However, in Islam, it's often the Muslim community that carries out Allah's wrath. This is why Muslims are called to fight Christians and Jews in Surah 9:29. According to the next verse, Allah's wrath is upon us because of our beliefs. Therefore, Muslims have to fight us. But here again, I would say that the Quran is ambiguous with respect to killing those who leave Islam. There are a couple of other passages we could consider here, but it seems to me that the clearest Quranic command to kill apostates is Surah 4:89, which reads, "They desire that you should disbelieve as they have disbelieved, so that you might be all alike. Therefore take not from among them friends until they fly their homes in Allah's way. But if they turn back, then seize them and kill them wherever you find them." Here the Quran refers to people leaving their homes to join the Muslim community. And it goes on to say, but if they turn back, then seize them and kill them wherever you find them. This certainly sounds like a clear command to kill those who turn away from Islam. But if it's not clear enough, many reports in the Hadith leave no room for doubt. There are 6 main collections of a Hadith. I have all of them right here. So let's see what the ruling is on apostasy. In Sahih al-Bukhari 69:22, Muhammad declares, "Whoever changed his Islamic religion, then kill him." It doesn't get much clearer than that. In 69:30, Muhammad says, "During the last days there will appear some young foolish people who will go out from their religion as an arrow goes out of the game. So wherever you find them, these people who will leave Islam, kill them, for whoever kills them shall have reward on the day of resurrection." So those who kill apostates will be rewarded by Allah. In 6923, Muhammad sends Abu Musa and Muad ibn Jubal to Yemen. When Muad arrives, he finds an apostate in chains, and here's what happened. Muad asked, "Who is this man?" Abu Musa said he was a Jew and became a Muslim and then reverted back to Judaism. Then Abu Musa requested Muad to sit down, but Muad said, "I will not sit down till he has been killed. This is the judgment of Allah and his messenger," and repeated it thrice. Then Abu Musa ordered that the man be killed, and he was killed. In 6921, we are specifically told that the penalty for apostasy applies to women as well. It says, Ibn Umar, Az-Zuri, and Ibrahim said, a female apostate who reverts from Islam should be killed. Let's look at another collection. Sahih Muslim, number 4154 reads, Allah's messenger stood up and said, the blood of a Muslim who bears the testimony that there is no God but Allah, and I am his messenger, may be lawfully shed only in case of three persons: the one who abandons Islam and deserts the community, and the married adulterer, and life for life. So apostasy is one of three reasons given by Muhammad for killing someone who had become a Muslim. In Sunan Abu Dawud 4345 and 4346, we read about an apostate named Abdullah ibn Sar. Muhammad commanded his followers to kill Abdullah. Interestingly, his followers were more merciful than he was because they knew Abdullah and didn't want to kill him. So Muhammad let him live due to the intercession of his followers, but he was very angry with them for not killing the apostate as he had commanded. In 4347, Muhammad says, when a slave runs away and reverts to polytheism, he may lawfully be killed. Turning to Sunan an-Nasai, 4025, Muhammad once said to his followers, after me there will be many calamities and much evil behavior. Whoever you see splitting away from the Jama'at or trying to create division among the Ummah of Muhammad, then kill him. For the hand of Allah is with the Jama'at, and Satan is with the one who splits away from the Ummah. In 4040, we get an interesting comment on a very horrific incident. Muslim sources tell us about a group of apostates who apparently killed one of Muhammad's shepherds and drove away his camels. When Muhammad caught them, he burned out their eyes with hot pieces of metal, chopped off their hands and feet, left them in the sun to die. In Sunan an-Nasai, someone asked Muhammad's companion Anas, was the punishment for kufr or for sin? So were they tortured and killed because they left Islam, or because they killed the shepherd? Anas replied, for kufr, for unbelief. They were tortured and killed for leaving Islam. In Jami' at-Tirmidhi, 1458, we read again that Muhammad said, whoever changes his religion, then kill him. And the context for this passage is that Ali, the fourth rightly guided caliph, was burning people to death for apostasy. In Sunan ibn Majah 2535, Muhammad says again, whoever changes his religion, execute him. Notice that we find the same thing in all 6 collections of Hadith, and we find even more when we turn to other Muslim sources. For instance, in Malik's Muwatta, we find Muhammad commanding his followers to chop off the heads of apostates. In Bayhaqi's collection of Hadith, we read, a woman named Rahman apostatized. Then the Prophet ordered that it would be better that she be offered Islam again and then repent. Otherwise, she should be executed. Bayhaqi notes elsewhere that the woman refused to return to Islam and that she was therefore executed. Notice that this was a woman. Putting all of this together, there are passages in the Qur'an which, according to Muslim commentators, command Muslims to kill apostates, and Surah 489 seems very clear on this point. But the Hadith are beyond dispute. According to Muhammad himself, the penalty for apostasy is death. And we have reports of Muslims during Muhammad's lifetime executing people for leaving Islam. Now, this should be enough to settle the matter. But since Western Muslims are doing everything in their power to deceive us on this issue, we're going to consider more proof in our next video. Stay tuned.